Morning children, practice paper 2. We already completed question 21 questions. We are going to do from 22nd onwards. 22nd question. EFGH is a parallelogram with the diagonals EG and FH meeting at a point X. Show that area triangle EXF equal to area triangle EXH equal to area of the triangle GXF equal to area of the triangle HXG. So what is given in the question? EFGH is a parallelogram, the diagonals meeting at X. Right? Now you have to prove that all these four triangles are equal in their area. That is area triangle EXF equal to area triangle ESH equal to area the triangle GXF equal to area the triangle HXG. Proof. Diagonals of the parallelogram bisect each other, as we know very well. So that is why we can write that EX equal to XG. That means here the first diagonal we are taken as EX equal to XG and HX equal to XF. Now in triangle EHF, that means this triangle, we can write that area EXH means which triangle? Triangle number 1 EXH equal to half of the area of the triangle EHF, and also it is equal to EXF also. Here what happens, it is from chapter 9 only. This is a median because it's a midpoint only, right? It's a midpoint for because of the diagonal bisect each other, means this is divided equally into two parts. That means it became a midpoint to the line. So median divides the triangle into two equal parts and hence their areas are equal. So that property we are using. That means if EX is a median, what we are learning from this here, EX is a median, therefore this triangle, that is HEF or EFH, is divided into two equal parts. First one is which one? EXH, and the second one is EXF. Got? What is the triangle first one? HEF we are taken. Then which is the median we are taken? EX is the median, since it is a midpoint. Diagonal bisect each other of a parallelogram we have taken here. If it is a midpoint, EX is a median for this base, right? So that means this triangle is divided into two equal parts and its areas are equal. So area 1 equal to area 2. Similarly, when we are going for other one, that is HX, that is also median only because diagonal bisect each other, we have written that HX equal to XF. So this is also equal, EX equal to XG. So this is a midpoint again. So area 1 equal to area 3. Again, what is the next point? Similarly, GX is also median. We can write that area 3 equal to area 4. You can understand and you can learn the theorem here itself because this theorem, particular chapter is deleted for this academic year. But diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. So this become, that is X become the midpoint for EG as well as HF. So since it is a midpoint, when we are drawing a line segment from the vertex to the opposite side's midpoint, that is called a median in triangle. So median of the triangle divides the triangle into equal parts and areas are equal. So area 1 equal to area 2, and when we are taking HX is a median, area 1 triangle equal to area 3rd triangle, and GX is a median, then area 3rd equal to area 4. Similarly, we can say that all the four are equal. That only here we have written area EXH is equal to area EXF, and then area EHX equal to area HGX, that means third triangle, and area HGX is equal to area GXF. Using 1, 2, 3, what is the conclusion? All the four triangles areas are equal, hence proved. Next question. Prove that angle subtended by an arc of the circle at the center is double the angle subtended by it at any point on the remaining part of the circle. This is a very well-known fact that it is angle subtended arc theorem from the chapter circle only, direct theorem proof only. So we can write a given part as well as two proof part easily. Arc PQ of the circle subtending angles POQ at the center O and PAQ at the point A on the remaining part of the circle. To prove angle POQ equal to 2 times of angle PAQ. Let us see the diagram. For particularly this theorem, we need 3 diagrams only. So 3 diagram must be completed. Below each diagram, write the cases. PQ is a minor arc, PQ is a semicircle, arc PQ is a major arc. Usually major arc means 3 letters to be used for this particular theorem. Textbook also I think only 2 letters are used. So minor arc, semicircle and major arc. So what is the construction part? Join AO and extend it to B only. Now in all 3 cases, what we should write, because it's a 4 marker in all the proof, if we are going to do means it's very lengthy, so we will do easily that one. Angle BOQ means which angle? This. It is equal to QAO angle 1 and AQO angle 2 only. What is the reason? This one, exterior angle property. Now OQ and OA are radius. OQ and OA are radius means 1 and 2 are equal. That means which are they? Angle QAO equal to AQO. So here angle BOQ is equal to 2 times of angle 1, which is that angle QAO. Right, so 2 times of QAO. Similarly, if we are going for BOP here, what you can write directly? 2 times of OAP or PAO. So we will write that 2 times of PAO. Same property. When we are saying this angle, this equal to angle 3 as well as angle 4. What is the reason? Exterior angle property. Again these two are radius, 3 and 4 are equal. So angle BOP equal to PAO plus APO. But 3 and 4, that means angle PAO equal to APO because of the radii property, that is angle opposite to equal side. We can write 2 times of angle PAO. So just we add these two angles, which are they? BOQ and BOP. Right, left side we are getting BOP and BOQ. So it will be equal to angle POQ, that is the central angle, and 2 times of QAO plus 2 times of PA equal to angle 2 times of PAQ only. After this, what is the conclusion we got? Angle at the center is double the angle formed at the remaining part of the circle, hence proved. But here one point is important, which is that point, case 3. When PQ is a major arc, this angle POQ should be written as reflex angle POQ equal to 2 times of angle POQ, hence proved. So normally children will tell that when it is a 4 mark question, we won't get the time to complete all the proofs. So you can complete like this. You write here in all the 3 cases, then complete up to here, then we'll get the answer for angle POQ equal to 2 PAQ. So after that we should specifically write for the third case when it is a major arc. Don't forget to draw the 3 diagrams and give them proper heading, that is PQ is a minor arc, major arc and semi-circle. Question number 24. On his birthday in the month of the January, Harish distributed a soup. He had it in a cylindrical bucket with a base radius 21 and height 98 cm. He distributed the soup into a hemispherical bowl of radius 7 cm to the poor people and also gave a blanket to them. How many people were served the soup? So here first it was a cylindrical bucket. The soup was there. Its radius R equal to 21, H equal to 98 centimeter. Hemisphere radius capital R equal to 7 centimeter. So the question is asked for number of people served the soup, means volume of the cylinder by volume of the hemisphere. So what is the formula for volume of the cylinder? Pi r square h. And what is the formula for hemisphere? 2 by 3 pi r cube. So pi common cancelled, r square h by 2 by 3 r cube. So this 3 will go into the numerator and the remaining is a direct substitution only. Small r is 21 and 21, h is 98, whereas capital R is 7. So simply after substitution you must do the simplification and your answer is 189. So 189 people will get the soup there. Question number 25. Water is supplied to a city population from a river through a cylindrical pipe. The diameter of the cross section of the pipe is 20 cm. The speed of the water through the pipe is 18 km per hour. Find the quantity of the water in liters which is supplied to the city in 4 hours. So here the question is given. It is a supply of water through a cylindrical pipe only. Now let us see the solution. D equal to 20 centimeter, that means diameter is given, therefore we can calculate our radius, but it is in a centimeter, we need in meter, so 10 by 100, that is 1 by 10 meter. Speed of the water flowing out, that is 18 kilometer per hour, again we have to convert into meter, so 18 into 1000 divided by 60 into 60 second, that is 5 meter per second. Now time is given that 4 hours, again it is converted into second, 4 into 60 into 60, that is 14400 second. Distance means length of the pipe, that is speed into time only. So we have already calculated the speed as a 5 and time as a 14400 second. So total distance is equal to 72,000 meter only. That means this is our height now, right? The distance is the height now. When a cylindrical pipe water is flowing with the speed, so when we are drawing a cylinder, you should think that if we stop the water for 1 minute, what will happen? The water columns will form here, that means it becomes the height of the pipe, right? That is the thing we are using here. So the distance means the height only, so 72,000 meter we got. So volume formula, what is the formula? Pi r square h, 22 by 7 into 1 by 10 into 1 by 10 into 72,000. So 72,000 calculating step is the difficult part in this question. After that you can directly solve. What we have done, from that speed of the water is given, we have used that in a meter per second form. Time is we have calculated, so the distance means water flowing speed into time only, that we calculated. That means in a cylinder it is, right? We are using a cylinder and we should think that it is stopped for 1 hour. What will happen? So the distance traveled, the water traveled through how much distance, that we have used the formula speed into time, then we calculated, that is our h only. So we substituted here. Our answer is 2262.85 meter cube. 26th question. A water storage tank is in the form of a cube. When it is full of water, the volume of the water is 15.625 meter cube. If its present depth is 1.2 meter, find the volume of the water used from the tank and also find the ratio with the volume of the remaining water in the tank. Also find the ratio with the volume of the remaining water in the tank also. So two type sub questions are also there. When we are having the length equal to 2.5, what is the volume of the water? It is equal to 15.625 meter cube. That is the length. In the figure you can see that the side of the cube is 2.5, means all the side it is 2.5 only. So a cube equal to 15.625. So we can calculate a, that is 2.5 meter. So a equal to 2.5 meter we got. Now volume of the water present is 1.2 only. So volume of the water present, its volume means it's a LBH, because the length breadth is same, the height is changed here. So we have calculated LBH, so it is equal to 7.5 meter cube. Now what is the volume of the water used? The difference of these two. So that means 15.625 minus 7.5, it is equal to 8.125. That is the water used. Now what is the ratio you asked? Find the ratio of the volume of the water used with the water present. So used is which one? 8.125. And what is the volume of the water present? 7.5. After substituting, simplify, you will get a 13 by 12. So the required ratio equal to 13:12. Question number 27. The height of the students of the class is measured and recorded as below. Height in centimeter and number of students. Height started from 120 to 125, it is 7. 125 to 137, 130 to 135, 11. 135 to 143, and 140 to 145, 5. 145 to 159, 150 to 155, it is 8. So now the probability question is asked. Before that we can add and see how many trials are there. 7 plus 7 plus 11 plus 3, 5 plus 9 plus 8. So 50 trials are there. So the total number of trials for us, it is 50 only. Now what are the sub questions here? A student is selected at random. Find the probability that the height of the student is more than 135, less than 130, at least 145, or 125 centimeter or more but less than 140 centimeter. Now let us see the solution. Solution. So total number of trials I already explained, it is equal to total number of the students equal to 50. So always we are having the sub question. I always told that write the formula first. So for any event E, empirical probability, what it says, P of E equal to number of trials in which the event happened and divided by total number of trials. Now let us see the sub questions. First question, the probability of height of a student is more than 135 centimeter. It is a direct question only. We can write it 25 by 50. Now what is the next question? P of height a student at least 145 centimeter. Two cases are coming there. 9 plus 8, that is 17 by 50. Height of the student is less than 130. So which is equal to less than 130 means we are getting the two cases 120 to 125 and 125 to 130. So it is equal to 14 by 50. The last question, P of probability of the height of the student is 125 or more, that is 7 plus 7 divided by 50 equal to 14 by 50. And fourth question, probability of height of the student is 125 or more or less than 140, that is equal to 3 cases are coming under this. 7 plus 11 plus 3 divided by 50 equal to 21 by 50. So always count which is for that question, particular question, what frequency is coming, identify from the group and add and see that one. It is empirical probability, very easy one only. 28th question, the runs scored by two teams A and B on the first 60 balls in a cricket match. Number of balls team A, team B is given 1 to 6, 7, 12, 13 to 18, 19 to 24, 25 to 30, 31 to 36, 37 to 42 and 48 to 54, then 43 to 48 here. 49 to 54, 55 to 60. Team A respectively 3, 2, 9, 5, 6, 10, 6, 12, 3, 1. Team B are scored as 6, 7, 3, 11, 6, 7, 4, 5, 9, 11. Represent the data of both the teams on the same graph by frequency polygon. So there is no continuous graph it is. So we have to make a continuous graph first. So we already told that the gap is 1. So half should be added to the upper limit and subtracted from the lower limit. So you will get it is a 1 only. 1 to 6 was there. So it is 0.5 to 6.5, 6.5 to 12.5, like that it will get a last class interval is 54.5 to 60.5. Now what is the we required? It is a class mark we required because it's a frequency polygon. So 6.5 plus 0.5 it is 7, 7 divided by 2, 3.5. Again 12.5 plus 6.5, that is 13 plus 6, 19 divided by 2, that is 9.5. So upper limit plus lower limit divided by 2, the next column is class mark. Then team A, team B. After that what we should write? 3.5 with the first team points is balls they attempted 3 only. So 3.5 comma 3 is the first coordinate. Second coordinate will be 9.5 with the 2 on for team 8 is right. So here then 15.59, 21.55, 27.56, 33.510, like that it goes. Similarly also second team we can make the coordinate 3.5 with the 6, 9.5 with the 7, 15.5 with 3, like that we will complete the table. After completing the table, what we must do? We should plot the graph. So it's a frequency polygon only. We need a class mark, we need the number of balls we got. So two graphs we are doing that one. So first A1 plot, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, like that we have plotted, and closing is important. Next midpoint we can take, next closest also we can take. Later what is the C team B? Team B we have used a green sketch, so it is like this. So here I can write that a B1, B2, B3, B4, like that it will be continuing. So we can complete the graph and we can make the frequency line. So B5 and A5 are the same points only. It's B6, B7, B8, B9, B10, then B11. If we want means we can use the real coordinate only, otherwise we can mark the letters also. So the closing is also important. If you are not closing that polygon, then it is not correct. I already explained in the teaching part. Anyhow, frequency polygon is deleted, I think, for this particular academic year, but you must learn because the next year it will come. Then what are the labeling is also important. What are we required? Class mark we have used, frequency we have used, key should be written. Team A denoted by black line and team B denoted by the green line, and along with that scale also to be written, but here it is not followed the correct one, so king should be applied. Then x and y axis to be labeled. So with this we are winding up the second practice set paper also. Thank you.